Greetings, everyone, and welcome. I'm here to speak with you today about the subject of grief and the release from grief, and how I came to understand the grief process in a brand new way. As a former hospice social worker and bereavement counselor, I worked with people who were nearing the end of their life, as well as with those who were grieving the departure of a loved one. Perhaps even right now, one or more of you are feeling grief, are feeling loss for a beloved mom or dad, a husband or wife, a brother or sister, a child, a close friend, or even a cherished dog or cat. And over the years, I realized how far-reaching grief was in its effects upon people, and how strange it was in some ways. It had physical expressions, emotional expressions, mental expressions, and spiritual expressions. For example, grief in its physical expression hurts, it aches, and people often report a profound feeling of emptiness, a visceral feeling of emptiness that they can locate in their solar plexus usually, or even their heart. And so over many years, I realized that despite my years of training and study and what I had learned from my clients, there was still something that was missing in my understanding, that was just out of reach, unseen in a way, until I came across an amazing body of new knowledge, not unlike what you may find should you choose to continue to explore this website. And it was there that I learned that I could research the core of any subject, and that the way to do that, it was necessary first to focus on the cause and not the result of things. And I immediately realized that I had been focused on the results of what grief caused in my work with people, but not understanding really the cause itself. And I understood that it was important to ask questions such as, why grief? What is grief actually? So here now is some music for you to contemplate these questions for yourself. And I look forward to continuing this brief research into understanding grief in a new way shortly. Why grief? What is grief actually? Grief is based in a principle called retention and return. Over the course of our lives with our loved ones, we have been receiving and holding the best of themselves that they have deposited in us for safekeeping, what can be referred to as their vital essences. Vital essences refer to the fundamental intrinsic qualities of a person that make them who they are at core. Their intrinsic qualities such as care, humility, patience, generosity. In cultural terms, we have even heard the expression when one spouse introduces their partner as their better half. Now, this process whereby we have held in care the vital essences of another is actually the fulfillment of a natural law. This natural law can be spoken of as everything must return to the source of its arising. I'll say that again. Everything must return to the source of its arising. When a loved one departs, it is absolutely necessary that these vital essences be returned to them that you have held in safekeeping, as they need them now to fortify them on the next part of their journey. This process of having to return to your loved one their vital essences is now felt as a great loss, an ache, a loneliness, and an emptiness. This is the body's reaction to those essences going out of you and returning to them where they are needed. This is the feeling of grief, and it is a great service that we bear. But the process does not end there. Now, your loved one who has held in their safekeeping your vital essences will now be transferring back to you those vital essences that can strengthen you during this difficult time. I hope that this new knowledge you can be glad of, and the service that you endure. May it bring you some easement, comfort, settlement, and greater meaning in your loss. Thank you.